All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is 4 p.m. West Coast time, 1 p.m. Hawaii time, 7 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 6 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I am Mad Statter. This is Chatter with Statter, and I'm stoked to see we've got a couple folks already hanging out in the lounge, waiting for the show to start. Rick coming in, asking folks to watch this for certain. And hey, Sass, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. And I guess since Rick is, telling everybody to do things and stuff, I have to second that.
Are you watching this? Are you watching this? Are you watching this?
But that's just me, right? Are you watching this? Are you watching this? And yes, indeed, Rick, we have got Lono music. No, we don't. Now we do. Now we have Lono music in the background. Unlike last show, where we didn't have most music for most of the stream. I remembered this time. This time I remembered. All right, so Rick is double checking in on the YouTube. It looks like all goofs go. Fantastic. We have all cylinders goofing. Watching this space precisely. All right, so I don't have a whole lot to talk about today. So I've got a video from my trip to Hawaii, but I also have a video from my dad's hometown in Corydon, Indiana, which we are going to get to shortly. But before we do that, I want to say hello to Elaine. Good to see you, Elaine, coming in from Hawaii. And so yeah, all right, you guys. So I don't know if you've ever heard of a town in Indiana called Corydon. Now, Corydon used to be quite famous because it was the very, very, very first capital of the state of Indiana back in the day. But then things and stuff changed, and now I think, I don't know, Indianapolis is the capital. I don't know. I don't remember. But hey, Picola T, good to see you here. I am sharing a little secret about my dad's hometown, Corydon, Indiana. So back in the day, original capital, original old school state house. When I went to visit Corydon, Indiana, actually, the original courthouse / capitol building was still there in town square, tiny little town in southern Indiana. Went to that museum just to wander around. As it turns out, the person who was curating, running the museum, volunteering that day, happened to have gone to school with my dad and all of his family. So when I was telling her who I was and where I was coming, what I was doing, she's like, oh, wait, your dad was, so-and-so? Did he have a brother named Joe? And I'm like, yeah, he had a brother named Joe. And she's like, oh, and so she was just, so then she got this weird look on her face, and she sort of said to me, she's like, you do know that, your family lived out in the sticks. They were really poor. So I'd always known that they were pretty poor, like hadn't gotten electricity until like 1957 type thing. So I knew that they had been out in the sticks, but like to have a classmate just blatantly outright, like, do you know, was kind of a shocker. Definitely an eye-opener to reinforce some of the stories of the homestead, shall we say, that I heard back in the day. But this isn't about my dad's family and how poor they were. No, this is about the town. So I leave the little courthouse and just, in wonderment and awe. It's like I've traveled halfway across the country, and the town is still so flippin' small that I actually ran into somebody. The first person I talked to in that town is someone that they went to school with, so yeah. And you follow in good footsteps then. That I went way out there. It was, you way out there too. just small kind, yeah, way out there. But, and that's the key word here. So I leave the courthouse, the museum, the whatever, and I look across, and the courthouse museum thing is like right on the edge of a town square. And so I look across the town square, and there is this super, super old-fashioned drugstore. The kind of drugstore that, like, you know, has soda fountains and the like, and it, like, really an old-fashioned drugstore. And the town is world famous for their drugstore, for a particular reason, and the reason is hysterical, and they have embraced it to the 9th degree. They have embraced the reason why their pharmacy is world famous. Okay, maybe not world famous, but definitely famous nationwide. And, well, here's why.
A cry across the heartland, a yearning for the days gone by. And in little old Corydon, Indiana, they're happy and they'll tell you why. They got butt drugs, they love butt drugs, butt drugs, butt drugs.
I love butt drugs.
I recommend butt drugs for everybody.
I can always count on butt drugs.
When I think drugs, I think butt drugs. For all my health needs, I turn to butt drugs.
You want hometown service and cheap hot coffee and liquor. Now that's the ticket. You can tell Walmart, CVS, and Walgreens exactly where to stick it. Butt drugs.
We love butt drugs.
Butt drugs won't let you down.
Free parking in the rear. I love butt drugs.
There's a cry across the heartland, a yearning for the days gone by. And in little old Corydon, Indiana, they're happy and they'll tell you why. They got butt drugs.
Oh, Pacola T, working there, pain in the arse. Thank you guys so much for the mic trick. Hey, Darlene, good to see you. So yeah, they are not famous for, they are definitely not famous for being the first ice cream parlor, but they do have quite the stellar reputation, as it were, you know. Yes, they do have quite the reputation. So whenever I see that video of that commercial, it just makes me giggle, because clearly the town has embraced the you know, the joke, and I can only assume that butt was the last name of someone who opened that store, etc. Now, when I was in the town, that commercial I don't think had been made yet. I had never seen it, but a few years after I came home, after I had visited, I saw it online, and it makes me giggle every single time. And so it crossed my feed the other day, and I had to share it with y'all, because if you don't, if you can't appreciate that commercial, then there's something wrong with you. But oh my God, wait, Devin. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. I've got so many things to say. First off, Darlene, I think I said hi to you, but I'm not quite sure. Pacola T, fairly certain I said hi to you, but I'm not quite sure. Elaine, Andre, hey, that's who I wanted to say hi to. Andre, good to see you. And let's see here. So now, Devin, are you kidding me? I thought those people looked familiar. I thought that the one guy looked familiar, but okay, so what Devin is saying is Rhett and Link, these are two musicians, comedians, they're musicians and comedians, I guess, but they have a podcast, a pod stream, a streaming channel, I don't know. They have a YouTube show called Good Mythical Morning, and they're quite entertaining, actually. In fact, I wish I had a co-host so I could do a lot of what they do, because they really are. If you have not watched a Good Mythical Morning episode, they're really quite funny. It's a good little show. And but anyway, I didn't realize that it was Rhett and Link in that commercial, and so now I will not make you guys suffer through it again, but I'm gonna have to re-watch that commercial to look at the other guy, because the one guy, I can never remember which one's Rhett and which one's Link. But the guy, the cleaner shaven guy, I recognized him. But the guy who currently has a beard with the longer hair, I didn't notice him in the background, but that is funny. I wonder if they're from Corydon or the area, or how they came about that, how they came about starring in that commercial, because yeah, it's just a funny commercial, right? And let's see here. I did not, oh, there we go, Gina. I was like, I don't see Gina. Oh no. So, okay, there's Gina. Good to see you, Gina. And let's see here. Devin, is telling Rick, yeah, Good Mythical Morning is pretty awesome. All the cool kids know about it. I don't know about all the cool kids, but most of the cool kids do. And now that you guys know about it, you're cool kids too. And, so I see that Darlene is talking about something that I had forgotten about until right before the stream, which is not here, not now, so put it away, y'all. It is Ice Cream Wednesday. That is right. For those of you who follow the Daily Pigeon Live podcast and have followed Daily Pigeon Live for many years, you know that there was a time when we had Ice Cream Wednesday on that show. But alas, the Ice Cream Wednesday eventually fell off because people were getting bigger, etc., etc. But since it is the first day of summer today, we decided to reinstate Ice Cream Wednesday for at least one episode. And I think there's another reason why we chose today as well. But I'm not, it's first day of summer, but I feel like there was something also coincidental. I don't remember. Either way, 6 p.m. West Coast time, 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 9 p.m. East Coast time, tonight, June 21st, 2023. If you are watching the Daily Pigeon Live podcast, be sure to have your ice cream ready, because it is Ice Cream Wednesday. What this means is, in the half an hour between when this show ends and that show starts, if you don't have your ice cream, you might have to go run down to your 7-Eleven and go grab some. That's what I'm going to have to do, because I got no ice cream in the house. I got no mochi in the house. I got no ice cream in the house. I don't even have a scoop of peanut butter to pretend is ice cream to have in the house. So yeah. Go grab your ice creams. Felicia, good to see you. You are late, which means you got to miss a very funny commercial. And because the commercial's funny, we might show it again later. We probably will, but right now, we're going to keep you in awe and wonder, wait, what's this funny commercial they're talking about? And so, Rick, tonight's sky show, Venus, Mars, and the crescent moon in the western sky after sunset. Go look, it's free, and you don't even need ice cream for it. The sky will be there for you regardless. And, okay, I was gonna look out my back window, except for I can't. I don't know where you're at, but where I'm at, we had mostly cloudy clouds today. However, it is starting to clear up, so the sky might actually be visible for us, which is very unusual in the Pacific Northwest during our June gloom. June gloom is when all the rains come, because it rains basically in the Seattle area until July 5th. July 5th is when summer starts in our area. It pretty much always is going to rain on July 4th, guaranteed. But, which is good. But yeah, so, but the rain and the rain clouds mean no sky shows usually. However, today, fingers crossed, or tonight, fingers crossed, we will get to see that line of planets in the Pacific Northwest sky. And, Bacola T, does sucking on an ice cube count? Well, if you want it to count, then I guess it will. However, ice cream implies that if you're going to be sucking on an ice cube, you would have dipped it in some cream first. No? No? Yes? Just me? Okay. And see Honda, good to see you. You're going to be semi-K today. That is all right. And let's see here. Andre, yes, it was warm at Seahurst Park earlier in the day. You hung out there and took pictures of the birds. That makes sense. That's a good place for the pictures. And yeah, it is quite warm today. It's just that the clouds are still just sort of being cloudy. And Let's see here. Celebrating 15 years of wedded bliss on July 5th. Nice, Picola T. Excellent. Are you going to be doing any kind of traveling around that time? Or are you going to actually be at the homestead for your anniversary? Because I know that you and your lovely partner, well, you're just globetrotters these days. And I don't mean the basketball team. And so Andre, my 7-Eleven clerk is cool, Mad Statter. He says, I don't know which clerk you're talking about because there are several that are cool. I'm guessing you're either talking about the dreadlock chick who might be a dude who I'm still not sure, and it doesn't really matter because they're both or either kind of cute, or else you're talking about the tattooed white punk rock dude. I'm guessing those are the two that you would maybe have run across at this time of the day. No, it's not like I know when the clerks at 7-Eleven work or anything. It's not like I go there that often, except for when I do. The one with the black fingernails, I can't answer. I don't know which, either of those. The white tattoo guy. Okay, I was like, either of the people that I described could have the black fingernail polish, so I don't really know. Okay, yeah, the white tattoo guy, yeah. No, he is pretty cool, actually. He is pretty cool. He likes to keep the store very clean, I've noticed. And, all right, so now that Andre and I have gotten our local 7-Eleven talk out of the way, by the way, for those of you who are like, why are they talking about a local 7-Eleven? Andre is up in the Burien area right now on vacation. And so he is actually experiencing the clerks in my neighborhood as they exist in the wild, not just through the stories that I tell. And so Picola T got married at Cary Park, overlooking downtown Seattle. We showed up for the ceremony to find the park covered in yellow police tape from July 4th fireworks show the night before. We had to pose for photos very carefully. That actually is really funny. Right, because it's just like, can you imagine having to explain, like, it just, the remnants of the yellow police tape, like, if it had gotten in one of your wedding photos, you know, it's just like, what happened at your wedding that there was police tape? I mean, I guess it could be photoshopped out, but yeah, definitely posing for, you gotta get the right angles. But Cary Park, though, that's the park up, yeah, I imagine showing to your wedding and it looks like a crime scene. That's just horrifying. I mean, talk about something to make first off, if you were a bridezilla before that wedding, not that I'm suggesting you would be, because I really can't see that, but imagine if you were a bridezilla and then you come into that, you would lose your bloody mind, right? I mean, even if you're not a bridezilla, you'd probably lose your mind for just a second. And you can't help but just be like, is this some sort of omen? Is this a warning I should be heeding from the oracle in the sky? Is the Space Needle trying to tell me something? For sure. But if I remember correctly, Picola T, Cary Park, that's the park that is the quintessential, that's up on Queen Anne Hill, right? And it's the one that just looks down on the Seattle Center. And so, like, whenever you see that one view of Seattle where you're looking at the Space Needle and then, like, Mount Rainier is in the distance behind it, that's from Cary Park, right? That's the park that you're referring to. Yeah, that's the iconic viewpoint. Got it. Yeah, because there's basically two iconic viewpoints in Seattle. There's the one, Cary Park, that Picola T is talking about, and that's up on Queen Anne Hill. It's north of the city, and you're looking south into the city, right down onto Seattle Center where the Space Needle is. And then beyond that, the city, the freeway, and then Mount Rainier, far, far away. And then, of course, the other iconic Seattle city skyline is from West Seattle, across the water, where you have the whole panoramic view with the Space Needle downtown, and then the shipping areas, and then Mount Rainier that way. So yeah, exactly, Cola T. If the clouds are cooperating, it's a spectacular view of Mount Rainier behind the city. Yeah, though that as much as I prefer the West Seattle view, because that's from my neighborhood, and West Seattle is just superior to Queen Anne, in my opinion. I have to admit, that Queen Anne view, it can't be beat. I'll admit it, that Queen Anne view just cannot be beat. And Andre, yes, you did the West Seattle view a few days ago. You loved that one. I figured you were probably going to go back to that beach since I knew that you were familiar with it. And by the way, Andre, reading your posts on Facebook in regards to the South versus Southwest street delineators and how confusing it is. Welcome to Seattle, my friend. Even people who have lived here forever sometimes get switched around. And in fact, I was looking for a Chevron station once about a decade ago, and it was on 8th Avenue South. And I can't remember what the cross street is. 112th and 8th Avenue South, I think. We're going to say that's what it is. And so I went to 112th and 8th Avenue Southwest. And it was like an apartment comp. There was no flippin' gas station anywhere around. And I was so confused, and I went back home like, well, still not understanding. And it wasn't until years later when I found the Chevron, when I stumbled upon the Chevron that I had been looking for, that I realized, oh, Southwest, South, yeah, it makes a difference. It's 16 blocks in that direction when they said that. Yeah, so even those people who live here like me, and who've lived here longer than they care to admit, it happens. It happens. And, Andre, in West Seattle, you need to stay into the arteries, avoid capillaries, or you will be making circles and circles till you find an artery. Yeah. And, in fact, one of the most difficult streets, like you think it's like, oh, okay, this address is on 26th Avenue Southwest, so I'm on 27th right now. I just need to go up one block and then head in that direction, right? Well, that's cool, except for, you see, 26th Avenue Southwest is this one particular street that's on a hillside, and it disappears and reappears intermittently. And just because the address is 26th Avenue Southwest doesn't actually mean that street even exists in that section where it is. You have to, like, access it from back alleyways, and then the address is based on a theoretical street. If the street were actually there in physical form, it would be there, but since the hillside is so steep, it's not really there, so it's just a theoretical map line that they call a street, but it's not, because there's no street, which makes no sense until you see what I'm talking about. Then you're like, oh, well, that's messed up. And so, yeah, welcome to West Seattle, my friend. Welcome to West Seattle. And yes, they have all these signs with arrows to the arteries. Yes, the arterials. The arterials are, yes, exactly. The Seattle streets are a lot like my zip code. I didn't know that you couldn't find my zip code, but yes, they don't follow very many straight lines. Like, if you can find an area in West Seattle that's got a good grid going on, you're pretty stoked. It's rare. It's rare. But if you do find a neighborhood that's got some grid action, Well, I guarantee the grid action is just for a couple blocks because it's not gonna last. It's just not. And then the streets veer off at extreme angles. Yes, and there's also a lot of must turn lanes. Absolutely. Although the must turn lanes are kind of a recent development. Like, don't even get me started on what they did to Delridge, but whatever. And yes, well, Pecola T, I think you actually do know that what you just said is true. Pecola T's like, street planners were all, we don't need no stinking grids. And actually, at the beginning of the creation of Seattle, that was an argument that the city founders had amongst one another. Some of them wanted to do this weird thing called a grid, and others were like, screw your grids, I'm going home, and I want my driveway to be one long straight line from my house to the waterfront, and that's gonna be James Street. It's like, but Mr. James, that runs cockywampus from everything else. I don't care. I'm the richest man in town, and my driveway is gonna be my street. And so, yeah. Let's see here. So wait till they start putting in traffic calming measures. Oh, hun. Oh, Rick, they already attempt to, but check this out. So, you know roundabouts? You know the little circles in the middle of intersections? Not the huge ones that are multi-laned, just the ones that are in the simple intersections of, say, a neighborhood. Roundabouts. So there's no stop sign per se. Well, Seattle thought that roundabouts were really awesome, and so they put them in a bunch of different neighborhoods without any kind of outreach to explain to people how to use them. And I understand it's self-evident generally how to use them, but no, it is not. Apparently, it is not self-evident. The ways I've seen people... Anyway. In Seattle, we haven't figured out how to use them. And in some particularly annoying roundabout intersections, they have since reinstalled the stop signs. So their traffic circles were so poorly executed that they just went back to stop signs. Now, don't get me wrong, the circle is still there. So when you're crossing the intersection, you still have to go through the circle, but before you go through the circle, you have to stop at the stop sign that the circle was put to remove from. But the circle, no one knows how to use the circle. They do know how to use the stop sign. So we just put the stop signs back in. Because we're smart. We're smart here in the Pacific Northwest. We're a smarty every day. Yeah, or not. And let's see here. Felicia, your husband was in Seattle to pick up his new race car. The traffic was nuts. Oh, absolutely, Felicia. I don't know. First off, I don't know where he had to go pick up his race car, and I don't know where he was driving to or from, but, yeah, if he was traveling, it doesn't even matter. North or south, east or west, he was involved in some sort of cluster fork. I have no fustercluck of traffic at some point in his travels, but I am curious, Felicia, do you know A, where he had to pick the car up, and then B, where he wandered to, and what, I guess I'm curious what traffic hell did he face, because I can explain it to you once I know where he went. And, let's see here. Okay, so Andre, I found a street with a little roundabout when I got lost down, let's see here, when I got lost down a capillary, and it was garbage day, and there was not a lot of room on them, and you can get jammed up. Oh, for sure, dude. Garbage day sucks. If you accidentally turn down the wrong street at the wrong time and get behind the wrong truck, you are, well, you're just along for the garbage route ride for a block or so, and it's probably going to take you 20 minutes. And so, Darlene, to clear up that muddy situation that I outlined, yes, they still have the roundabout. It is still in place. But they also have stop signs. So you approach the roundabout, and then you have to stop at the stop sign, and then you go through the roundabout. The circular motion of the roundabout, because the roundabout is still there. Does that make sense? And are you thinking, I can't possibly be understanding this right? That makes no sense. If you're thinking, I can't be understanding this right, that makes no sense, then you are understanding it right, because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Yeah. And let's see here. So Rick, around here, they putting in curb bump outs to eliminate one lane. All good till at night when you can't see the concrete bump outs. Yeah, we've had a couple. I know what you're talking about, and yeah, I've seen a couple cars whose wheel, that left a mark. They didn't see those bump outs, and that screwed up the tire, like literally took the tire off its axle, I guess. Yeah, that's a harsh joke of reality when you're speeding along in the rainy dark on a road that you thought you knew, and then suddenly, boom, a sidewalk, the sidewalk jumped out at you, literally, it seems like at that point. And, Andre, there was a traffic circle every block and only one stop sign in like 15 of them. Okay, so yeah, I don't know where you're talking about, but yes, I mean, some of them, yes, some of the circles are just circles, but like I said, some of the intersections where I guess people like didn't get it more or something, they ended up reinstalling the stop signs. I don't understand the method of the madness. And holy flirking flirk, dude. Hold on, Felicia, he drove from Nashville to Seattle and back in 4 days? No. How is that possible? I refuse to believe that. That means he's a faster driver than I am. How on earth? Now, I'm assuming he must have been driving 24 hours a day with other people, right? Because that is some amazing. I mean, I know he was picking up a race car. I guess he does drive kind of fast. But wow, that is crazy good time. Yeah, that is insane. But if he did actually have to go into Seattle proper and then head back east over I-90, which is how he would be leaving the state to head back to Nashville. Yeah, that whole leaving Seattle, going across the lake to the Bellevue side of the lake is a traffic kerfuffle that is the traffic kerfuffle that nightmares are made of. Yes, that is, I guess, what I can say. And let's see here. Darlene, I think Andre has already gotten fairly discombobulated and all turned around. He posted on Facebook like yesterday, something of that sort. And as I am wont to do, I, pointed and laughed because we've all been there. I mean, it's just how it works. And oh no. My emojis aren't showing up anymore. I accidentally erased my face earlier today, and I don't know how, but on my streaming software, I made my camera scene go away, and the scene that I had built that has my face also had like all the emotes that go, we used to get going across my face, and I didn't reset up that part of my face scene, and I don't really remember how I did that before. See, you guys, this is the problem with tech. You successfully conquer it, you do it once, and then you don't have to keep doing it, and then when you have to do it again, you don't remember how you did it, and so now you have to relearn it again. Maybe everybody's not like that, but that I'm like that. So, if I could show all of the ha-has across my face right now, I would, but I can't. Yeah, I erased my virtual face. I couldn't find it. Cause see, for those of you who Shock, good to see you. I hate it when that happens. Yeah, and Shock at least knows what I'm talking about. But like when you are doing this, you have you set up like, okay, so this particular view that we're looking at is entitled My Face. And so when I click on My Face, what that does is that turns on my camera to my face, plus it has the background music. And then in theory, it's also supposed to have the little emotes, but I forgot to add that layer. So I'll have to rebuild my face scene, basically. And so Felicia, Tony, I'm assuming, is your husband. He loves to drive anything with wheels. So that's very handy for you. Since you, it sounds like, do not like to drive anything with wheels. And Rick, that's the problem, though, is I just do it and then I forget about it. And so when I have to do it again, I have to relearn how to do it because I forgot about it. Speaking of which, you guys, last night at the bar, I had a bona fide Italian person ask me if I was Italian because of all the ways that I use my hands when I talk. I took that as a compliment. And Devin, I think I get used to that setup. Your own chauffeur, I can't spell. I love how you, like, you didn't spell it right either way, but we knew what you were talking about. Yep. So, all right. So, now, okay. We've already talked about butt drugs. That's right, I said it. We talked about butt drugs. But for Felicia, who doesn't know what I'm talking about, and Felicia, you're kind of close to where butt drugs is. So we're going to watch butt drugs one more time. That's right. We got butt drugs. Uh-oh, maybe we don't have butt drugs. Oh no, I wanted butt drugs. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. Here.
A yearning for the days gone by. And in little old Corydon, Indiana, they're happy and they'll tell you why. They got butt drugs. They love butt drugs. Butt drugs. Butt drugs.
I love butt drugs.
I recommend butt drugs for everybody.
I can always count on butt drugs.
When I think drugs, I think butt drugs. For all my health needs, I turn to butt drugs.
You want hometown service and cheap hot coffee and liquor. Now that's the ticket. You can tell Walmart, CVS, and Walgreens exactly where to stick it. Butt drugs.
We love butt drugs.
Butt drugs won't let you down.
Free parking in the rear. I love butt drugs.
There's a cry across the heartland.
Okay, so that last technical difficulties, we didn't really have technical difficulties. I just put that up for Rick so he could get that view one more time. Devin, do I think Rhett and Link sang the jingle too? I absolutely think they did, because they are actually a musical duo. They have been touring as a band together for many, many years. And even though the one was, we're going to call him Link, even though the clean-shaven Link with the glasses was the one that was shown more, I did see Rhett in the background twice. So yes, for sure, that was Rhett and Link. I mean, I know that wasn't a question, but like, oh yeah, I totally see that now. And I have no doubt in my mind that they wrote the song. They probably, I'm guessing they probably were the ones who wrote the song, produced the video, produced the commercial, because that's exactly what I mean, that is right up their comedy alley, basically. So let's see here. And no, Andre, I didn't erase my butt. I just lost my butt for a minute. And let's see here. Excuse me. So the joke is, says Felicia, you want a personalized license plate for the 370Z that says not his. Okay. So, butt drugs after dark. That's a whole different series. That's a whole different series. And yeah, when you can't sit around anymore, go to butt drugs. I can tell you, I went into butt drugs for some reason when I was there, but I did also eat at the little cafe that's right next door to butt drugs, and had a delicious tuna melt sandwich. So I've got nothing but lovely things to say about the town of Corydon. And let's see here. You're clearly going to have to use the screen when I walk into the cafeteria. Sensei does not need to hear this. Fair enough. I promise you we won't be playing the butt drugs commercial again. I already overplayed it the first time, but then I promised Felicia that, not that Felicia was like, oh, come on, fulfill this promise, but I did mention to Felicia that I would show the thing again, the commercial again, and so lo and behold, I'm using Felicia as an excuse to having played it for the third time today. And so we won't play it anymore, I don't think, okay? Okay, we won't play that. Instead, what we might play is my favorite thing in the world. That shock. You're gonna go to the cafeteria, turn the screen off or whatever. You don't want to see this. Me, however, I'm gonna laugh because I can't not laugh whenever I see this. That's right, you guys. It is my time of shameful joy. So let us watch the shameful joy.
Your man might have the Star Wars Lego set Death Star, but can he chug a sparkling water and not burp? Oh my gosh. What do I do? Your man might have the Star Wars Lego set Death Star, but can he chug a sparkling water and not burp? Oh my gosh. What do I do? Your man might have the Star Wars Lego set Death Star, but can he chug a sparkling water?
So, be sure to smash the like button for more quality programming, like my Shameful Joy clip, where the kid burps and then knocks himself out. I can't stop giggling whenever I see that clip, because I am a classy person, and my sense of humor is sophisticated, and nothing but highbrow. Except for when it comes to that. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm sorry that it makes me, I'm sorry that you guys have to put up with this so much, but it makes me laugh so hard whenever I see that clip. I just cannot help but giggle. Now, This, exactly, Faculty. Sure, knock yourself out. Has a whole different meaning. See, Honda, spoken like a true homeowner. He deserves it, but poor garage door, you know, it's just like, yeah, what kind of dent and repair cost is that garage door panel gonna be now that he, you know, absolutely boom. I mean, he just slammed into it. This is not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. And exactly, stupid human tricks, precisely. Now, speaking of human tricks, stupid human tricks, there is something that's going on in the news right now that actually isn't funny, but I did see this meme, and I figured you guys, no, I mean, okay, first up, what this is about is not funny, but this meme is kind of funny, okay? And so I think considering all of the orca talk that we've had here on Chatter with Statter, and we've alluded to the orca attacks in the Mediterranean, taking down, the yachts, etc., and the learned behavior of orcas, and, you know, we know that they communicate and they've got, family units, etc., etc. Well, I have, in my research, I managed to hook up with someone who has direct contact with a very important figure in the orca world, and they sat down with an interview with them, and this is what the orcas had to say. So, don't look to the orcas for this one, all right, you guys? Now, like I said, not a funny topic, but that was a funny meme, and I just thought I would share it with all y'all. So, and then, Faculty, and the worst is when you try to stifle a laugh and it leaks out with a wheeze or a snort. Exactly. And, the snorts. I am famous for the snorts. And so, Andre, right? Aren't you glad that that we're so old that you did when you did stupid stuff, it was not recorded and spread all over the world? Well, here's the deal, dude. That guy, I mean, it wasn't like he did something stupid and his friend caught him on camera and then his friend was like, hey. I mean, he filmed himself and then he went and uploaded it. So, I mean, he's got to be okay with it, right? I would think he's got to be okay with it, and it has gone viral. So I would like to think that, you know, he's at least seen $1 or $2 for his head injury, and perhaps enough to repair that door, because you know, boom, he left a dent in that door. You know he did. And let's see here. And Devin, right, you saw a documentary about this guy that was stranded at sea for 40 days. His boat was rammed by 3 orcas. And this was in 1970s, right? The orcas have been at it for a while. Right, exactly. But the orcas want to go on record right now. We don't know nothing about no submarine. They just want to go on record right now. They don't know nothing about no submarine. They're all about the yachts. So don't go looking at them for what's going on in the North Atlantic. That's all they're saying. They want to go on record. On record, they're saying, we don't know nothing about the missing submarine. So I just wanted to get the word out. Just wanted to help the orcas get their word out. Their position is, we know nothing. We know nothing about no submarine. And now granted, that could have been an interview with the Mediterranean orca, and the North Atlantic orcas are like, that's right. Twiddling our thumbs innocently. We don't know nothing either. Gina. Gina. There, is it's not really a submarine, it's a submersible. It's a commercial submersible watercraft that tourists spend $250,000 to go on, and then to go to the they go into the mass grave of the Titanic, and then they tourist activity around this mass grave in the bottom of the ocean. And this particular submersible has made that voyage several times, but this particular time they lost track of it, and the submersible only has less than 100 hours worth of oxygen on it, and they don't know. They don't know where it is. They don't know even if they found it, how they would get people out of it. It's a submersible that's run by a company out of Everett, Washington, that has had incredibly bad safety ratings. And this submersible is actually controlled by a $30 Xbox controller. It's literally a nightmare capsule that people paid a lot of money to get on, and now they might not be alive still, and no one knows. So like I said, when I brought up that orca meme, making light of a very unfunny situation, but on the other hand, from a Native American elder's point of view, they kind of, effed around and found out. And so here's a statement actually from a tribe in Canada. And so, excuse me, it was the Hopi elders. This post came from a tribe from Canada that I follow. But basically, what they have to say is, as the saying goes, big egos have small ears. Hopi elders have been speaking on the topic of space exploration for generations and have publicly issued warnings of what catastrophes will take place if you bring back items from the moon. The 5 missing tourists egotistically chose to go where human beings have no reason to be. One of the 5 passengers recently went on several expeditions. He boasted of his excursions to space, also down to the depths of the Mariana Trench and to the South Pole. These were done with the intent to add expeditions under his belt and obtain Guinness World Record titles. What was all this for? Ego. The Western mentality of conquering. The tourists refused to respect the power of these places and all the beings that reside within. The billionaires were going to visit a mass grave site for fun. As Indigenous people, we all know that there is specific protocol and purpose to enter certain places. If you lack respect for such power, consequences like this can surely take place. Most importantly, please be cognizant of the places you are entering and do so with respect. Money cannot save you from these types of consequences. And I know that is, sort of a heavy topic, but it's on the headlines now, and that's a perspective. While obviously the safety of these people are at the forefront of so many minds, there is the reality, the functional reality of what they were doing. Should they have been doing it? Were they doing it properly? Given the safety protocols and the safety errors that the company has been accused of 5 years ago, I think it's safe to say they weren't doing it properly. From a tool point of view. Now, in regards to their individual intents, I obviously cannot speak to why these people chose to get on that submersible, other than the gentleman from England that particular statement was listing his particular contribution. Other than him, which I think we all know, he was doing it for ego. He was doing it for world records. He was doing it for basically all the wrong reasons. Okay, we've got him. Now, the other people who were involved, I cannot speak for what their intention was. But, well, I cannot speak for what their intention was, and it's bad. The result is bad, that is. And so, and yes, exactly, Darlene. Something definitely failed, or they wouldn't be in the situation they're in now. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the more I've learned about this, the more kind of terrifying it is, in the sense that there is no escape hatch. The people who are inside this capsule have to be released by people outside. There is literally no way to leave the submersible without it being opened from the outside. The bolts securing the entrance and exit, they're all accessible from the outside. So they can't, even if they wanted to get out and get crushed by the depths of the pressure of the sea in their naked body or whatever, even if they wanted to, they couldn't, because there's no way out of the capsule without someone on the outside letting them out. So, you know, and yeah, exactly. See, Honda, first world tragedy, or as Pacola T says, first world folly. However you want to frame it, you know, it is definitely a first world issue. Now, this is me being, well, shall we say, a little snarky. A lot of times when I choose our Lono listening break, it is with a definite purpose for the song. Now, sometimes it's just a song because it's like, ooh, I haven't heard that one in a long time and I want to hear that again. But today for our little Lono listening break, well, I chose the song for a reason. So let's just take that break, shall we?
Okay, back. Cool. Check. We don't local speed limit. We don't like go fast, we go ekahe, elua, ekolo, slow it down, brother. This ain't the mainland. Riding in the old check. Way below the local speed limit. We don't like go fast, we go ekahe, elua, ekolo, It's small, but it's just enough. Now we plan la ekahe, elua, ekolo, all that luxury condos, brother. This ain't the mainland. We're putting up the little grass shack. It's small, but it's just enough. Now we plan la ekahe, elua, ekolo, ain't the mainland. Sugar. Ulelo o Hawaii, na huna o Hawaii, na mele o Hawaii, Noah, Gabby, Johnny, Kendi. Yeah. Na ulelo o Hawaii, Nahuna o Hawaii ne. Nabele o Hawaii, Genoa, Gabby, Johnny, Kendi. Don't forget Israel and Skippy. Macau Street. Oh, serio.
All right, so yeah, so maybe I was a little tasteless in my choice of song, but I do enjoy that tune, and I felt like it is a little bit appropriate for for the topic at hand, so to speak. But let's see here. We don't necessarily have to talk about random and awful stuff like that. What we can talk about instead, you guys, we can talk about food. We can talk about ordering submarine sandwiches. Did you know? I mentioned this on my Facebook feed, but if you've got a Jersey Mike's sub shop near you and you have the Jersey Mike's app on your phone, you can be eligible to get a free phone, basically. And I'm trying to, let's see here. Here we go. Yeah, so, on your phone, let's see, no, all right, it's not, all right. Well, this is my Jersey Mike's app, but you can't see anything because it's way too bright. But basically, on the Jersey Mike's submarine store app, you order a submarine sandwich, and what they'll do is they will then send you an email with a link so you can go claim your Samsung phone. And so I did it because I thought, well, that's just too good to be true. I'm going to risk my credit card number and send it to this questionable company, and we'll see what happens. Because basically, after I signed up for it, I was like, what did you just do? You just sent your what? Well, you know what I did? I got a free phone. Here's my phone, my other phone, my main phone, and then I got a free phone. And this phone even works. See, it's got works and everything. And so, as it turns out, it wasn't a scam. You get a free Samsung. It's not the high-end phone or anything like that, but it's still got a very good camera. And it is 5G. And the battery life is quite lovely. And so I needed another phone because for those of you who have been here for a minute or two, you might remember that when I was in Hawaii in June of last year, I ruined my work phone. It fell off the third floor of the garage that I was trying to film the King Kamehameha Day parade on, and so I ruined my phone because it got broke in. And then I never told my boss that I broke my work phone, and so for the last year I've been like kind of lying and like, oh, I left it at home, and oh, I forgot to charge it, and all those things. So so I finally decided I really need to get a work phone again. So I figured this would work because, yes, exactly, Rick, TrackPhone wants $120 for this same phone. Yes, and this exact same phone, I could. Okay, so the phone that I dropped, we got through some work plan. And through that work plan, I could have gotten this exact same model of phone, but it would have been $150. And so I figured I would just get this one for the $100, because actually it's for free, but you have to pay $100 because it's 2 months at $50 a month for service. And then after 2 months, you can cancel that service, and then you can take your phone to whatever other carrier you want. So my logic is, I'll pay $100 for the free phone, 2 months of service, Then once the 2 months of service is over, then I'll switch the phone over to the work plan that we have. And then when I switch the phone over to the work plan that we have, I guess I'll have to come clean to my boss and tell her I broke my phone. I might not tell her when, though. It's our secret on the internet. It's our secret. But basically, though, the point is, if you guys have, here we go. If you guys do have Jersey Mike's in your area, not every place does have Jersey Mike's, but if you do have a Jersey Mike's in your area, not only do they have delicious submarine sandwiches, because they do, they also are giving away in the month of June and July. This promotion is for the 2 months. And yeah, exactly, Darlene. Only tell her what I have to tell her. And does she really need to know when? That's exactly right. I mean, I figure if I've scooted it along for this long, you know, really, do we have to revisit old topics? Oh God, I'm just awful, aren't I? Rick, is that GSM or CDMA style phone? I don't know what you're talking about. And how would I find that out? How would I find that out, young man? Can you help me? Can you help me, young man? How would I find that out? Oh, okay. Well, it's... Okay, so... okay, so Rick... Okay. Verizon equals CDMA, AT&T equals GSM. Interesting you should say that, because this is... Where did it go? So the phone that I got is an AT&T Samsung Galaxy, but it's got the SIM card for Verizon. So it's I don't know. Because it's both. But you say I can find out with the about the phone, so let's find out, shall we? About the phone. And what is it? Software information? Sometimes we get a crowd, sometimes it's just us, but I'm not here complaining. Where would I find it? That's just the way it is. Oh, so it's both then? I'm so confused. Where do you? So my SIM card status, the network is Verizon. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. So Verizon is CDMA and so is Sprint. Everyone else is GSM, but... Okay, so I've got a lot of questions for you guys then. First off, it does have an IMEI number. It does. So it's an AT&T phone. So it must be a GSM phone. So Devin's asking Rick, isn't tied to the SIM card locking the service to the phone? Bacola T, you know, Statter, there's a tracking chip. No, there is not a tracking chip in this phone. No, really? I dare say, I'm clutching my pearls. There's tracking technology in these devices? You mean they know where I'm at all time with GPS? And they're listening to what I say? Because if I say, hey Google, tell me how to get home, it'll actually listen? No. No. What about my privacy? What about my privacy? And, let's see here. Okay, so Andre says both, but he also says find your phone's model number at the back or with the packaging box. Once you have that model number, I can look it up online to determine GSM or CDMA. Or okay, and Rick, new phones can do both networks, but only one service at a time. Okay, Rick, that actually is a piece of information that I have been wondering about. Because, oh, you guys, look. It turned on when I said that I was talking to it. You can go to bed now. I don't want you. So, okay, that actually explains it, because I remember back in the day, because I've always been a Verizon person. Verizon in this particular area and for my particular needs has the best coverage, because I go, not so much anymore, but back in the day when I went camping a lot and was just all over, I would go to the boondocks. And at one point, Verizon had unquestionably the best coverage. So I've been with Verizon since forever, and I've never really bothered to switch it up, even though I know Verizon is one of the more expensive networks. But I digress. I've heard, or back in the day, Verizon was very clearly like its own thing, and you couldn't take a Verizon phone and go to AT&T and use it. But now so with this particular phone, they advertise like, no, you can take it to whoever. And it's just like, well, that's not the same rule that I remember growing up with. So it sounds like that has evolved. So I'm very glad we're having this discussion, even if I am misunderstanding what you're saying, but I don't think I am. And let's see here. I know I was mean to my phone. I was mean. And what happens when I tell my phone to flirk off? I don't know. Hey, phone, why don't you fluff off? Fluff off, phone. Oh. No, I'm talking to you, phone. Fluff off. Hey, Google, fluff off. It's ignoring me now. So yeah, I guess what, Andre, you're saying they unlocked them? Oh, I've heard of that. I never knew what that meant, but okay. But anyway, though, my point is Jersey Mike's, delicious subs, and free phones-ish. So, I suggest that if you need a burner phone or a disposable phone or whatever, grab a sub and grab a phone until the end of July. And it seems like it's really, I don't know if it's a case of people are like, this is too good to be true, if people are just like super suspicious like I was, but I saw when I ordered with the app and I saw what the special was, I was like, that seems too good to be true. But then there is this guy on YouTube, and I think he's like the crazy sub guy or something, but he works for Jersey Mike's. In fact, I think he might own a franchise, and he does all of his little shorts are about Jersey Mike subs. And he was talking about the promotion, and I was like, well, if this owner of the franchise who's whatever is talking about it, maybe it is on the app, maybe it's legit. And so I did it, and when I posted about it on my social media, a lot of people were like, I can't find this promo, I'm very suspicious, where did you hear about this, blah blah blah. And so it seems to be kind of flying under the radar. I don't know why it's not gaining more traction, but seriously though, if you need a second phone for whatever reason, this is maybe an affordable way to go about it, because $50 a month for unlimited talk and text of a 5G network, it's not that bad. I mean, it's not the best price, but it's certainly not that bad of a price. And Rick, use a second no network phone for Wi-Fi surfing the internet. That way they can't spam call you. There you go. I've thought about getting a second phone. Now, this phone I'm actually going to be using for work, and so this phone will not be having TikTok put on it. because this is actually, oddly enough, I will care more about security on this phone, the one that I got yesterday, this week, earlier, the free one from the sub place. I care about the security of this stuff. This is client stuff. This isn't my stuff. This is client stuff. So this is going to be like a pure business phone, basically. This is my personal phone. And I also don't really want TikTok on my personal phone. But I do want TikTok. And I have actually thought about buying a burner phone just for TikTok. And I know that that's like super paranoid. But at the same time, I've heard enough computer geeky people who will not put TikTok on their main phone that I just, Okay, so this is my personal. And so now you can see the screen and you can steal all the information off of it. Are you stealing it, Rick? Are you stealing it? Are you stealing my phone info? And then here's my other phone. Hold on, there we go. Here's my other phone. And it says it's 69 degrees out. And there you go. Are you stealing all the info off of this? Because there isn't really any info to steal off of this yet, because it's brand new. So, are you stealing it? Are you stealing it? Did you stole it yet? Steal all the stuffuses? And Darlene, thank you so much for that. There's no harm in playing it safe. I know. I mean, frankly, I do kind of want to send myself some, ha-ha emotes for being so paranoid. But at the same time, I don't know. I just don't know. And no, it has nothing to do with, like, am I afraid, that they're tracking me? Because, like, any phone you got, they tracking you, baby doll. But it is a case of, China is a near peer. China is our rivalry, as it were. Russia is really no longer the main threat that the U.S. is facing in the world chess game where everybody's cheating. China, though, is a near peer that has definite, vested interests in gathering intelligence in whatever way they can. That's all I'm saying. And so let's see here. Rick, TikTok did ever try to remove Facebook from my phone? Oh, right. Did I ever try to remove Facebook? I have tried to remove Facebook from my phone because my old phone, when I used the Facebook app, it would heat up that I don't know what it did, but the phone would get like burning hot to the touch. It was working so hard. And so, yeah, I had to remove Facebook and from my phone, and they make it very difficult. They make it very, very, very difficult. Very difficult. And then let's see here, Andre. I do love when I pair my phone with a rental car. When I pull up the map, it shows me where the car is. Weird. I've definitely never done that. You, Andre, are a more rental car aficionado because you don't own a car, so you go rent and you get to see all the fancy new features. When I was in Hawaii last year, the car that they gave me no, they didn't give me it. The car that I rented was a keyless, just had the fob, I sat in that parking lot way longer than I care to admit, trying to figure out how to make that car go. I couldn't. There was no instruction. I mean, okay, there was instructions. It was on the flash screen in front of me. Basically, they were like, put your foot on the brake, lady. Put your foot on the brake, lady. If you put your foot on the brake and you put it in drive, we'll let you go. But until you put your foot on the brake, we ain't going nowhere, lady. Okay, fine. It didn't exactly say that, but it basically said that. But I wasn't looking at the screen for instructions. I was looking in the glove compartment for an owner's manual. Because I'm old. I'm old. So, the idea that you could sync your phone with the rental car, I had no idea. Mostly because I don't even know how to turn on rental cars, as it turns out. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Seriously, Rick, I was freaking out. I mean, aside from saying a few choice flying forks, I really was on the verge of like walking back to the kiosk and just being like, somebody has to show me how to drive this thing. But then it was like, well, if you do that, then they probably won't let you leave the lot. So, so I'm gonna have to figure this out on my own. And so Andre though, okay, so wait, if you sync your phone to your rental car or your car, I guess, and you then don't remember where you parked the car, can you then pull up on your phone where you parked the car? Does that make sense? Am I asking that question? Because basically what I'm asking is, or what I'm wondering is, if there is a technological solution to the problem that I had a few years ago with one of my friends. We were in Spokane, Washington, working a derby tournament, roller derby tournament. The venue where the tournament was at, their parking was full. So my friend had to park his car on the street. But after like a 14-day tournament or a 14-hour day at the tournament, at the end of the day, he was really tired, super exhausted, and couldn't remember where he parked his car. He had no idea, like not one iota of a clue what street it might be on or anything. So I had to, with him, he had his keys with the little key fob. So he and I literally went driving slowly up and down every street, every cross street, back and forth, every block. And he would just, boop, he would be pressing the fob in hopes that he could hear and see his car lights flashing wherever. And eventually we did find the car. But there's got to be a better way, right? And so Andre is coming in with, yes, it will tell you how far you are from your car. Okay. That's technology that's quite lovely. Because sometimes new car technology does not impress me. For instance, heated seats. I'm not impressed. My butt can heat the seat. Now, if you've got a seat that stays cool in the blazing hot sun, that is technology that I will impress. I'll be impressed by. But heated seats, my arse can heat the seat. I don't need no heated seat. I need an air-conditioned seat. That, my friend, is what I need. Sass, you're still here. Yeah, by the way, this is my friend Sass. My friend Sass is the one who had to lean out the window going, boop, 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 boop. And like I said, we did eventually find the car, so it was beautiful. And let's see here. So Rick, though, on Oahu, first time getting gas at Costco. I didn't know how to open the gas door on the rental SUV. Almost was an issue with plenty of people watching. Yeah, it's those little things that until you pull up and realize, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing at all. And now suddenly, and at Costco of all places, right, where the gas line is like down the block, the last thing you want to do is take too much time to flip and flirp and do what you're gonna do. So, I hope that someone helped you, Rick. And Andre, yes, the seats do have cooling now too. So I was impressed with that tech when that finally came out. But when the whole heated seats came out, it was just like, you've got to be kidding me. My butt can heat those seats. I don't give a flying fork. What? Now I understand people who go skiing, enjoy the heated seats. And I'd be willing to bet that the night that Sass and I got swept off of a raft into the frozen river in January and had to be rescued by the Forest Service, I'm guessing we might have enjoyed heated seats on the ride home from that adventure. But you know what? We just turned the heat up. So there you go. Oh, good. A nice guy in a white pickup showed you how. Excellent. Was it Andy by any chance in his little official state white pickup? And Andre, yes, you put the heated seat on by accident and did not like it. Every time I've had the heated seat, because my Subaru has a heated seat, and I don't like it. And every time I put it on accident, I'm like, why am I so uncomfortable? What is going on? And then I realize, oh, it's the technology I hate. Yeah. All right, so we are 2 minutes till the bottom of the hour, which means we're going to be wrapping things up. A couple things I want to cover real quick. First off, we are going to have Statterbox at the cinema, 6 p.m. Saturday time, West Coast time on Saturday. No idea what we're going to watch for the movie. I wish I could tell you, but I don't know. Second thing, most important thing, I guess, Sunday, Chatter with Statter is going to be canceled. I have an event that I need to go to, and so no Chatter with Statter on Sunday. We will, however, have Statterbox at the cinema on Saturday, as per usual. So, hopefully, we will see each other on Saturday. Hopefully, I'll get my act together in time to figure out what movie we'll be watching before Saturday, and I will get that posted. But, there we go. So we will see each other on Saturday, I hope. And if we don't see each other on Saturday, we might see each other in about 30 minutes. Daily Pigeon Live podcast. It is Ice Cream Wednesday for the first day of summer, so don't forget to grab yourself some ice cream. And Gina, didn't we discuss a Jack Black movie? We do have The Adventures of Gulliver, or Gulliver's Travels, or whatever, which is a Jack Black movie, and that definitely was top of my list. So we might have just made a decision. We're gonna watch Gulliver's Travels. Okay, I don't necessarily know how to say it, but we're gonna watch it anyway. So that's what we're doing. Jack Black, Gulliver's Travels? You know, the one with the Lilliputians. The Lilliput people. I'm not gonna tell you what the movie's called, because I can't say it. But it's a Jack Black movie. And we like Jack Black. So there you go. And Picola T, though, she's not going to be eating ice cream tonight. She's going to be skipping the Daily Pigeon and heading after this to Iolani Palace for the Kalakua Legacy Tour. Super stoked. Haven't been there since elementary school. Awesome, dude. That is great. Cool. Well, there you go, Picola T. We will not see you in 30 minutes, but everybody else, try to grab some ice cream. And then on Saturday, Gulliver's Travels is what we're going to be watching, even though I can't say it. Hey, Andy, good to see you. I'll see you in about 30 minutes. Thanks so much, and have a great one, you guys. Talk to you soon.